Hi, everybody. Welcome to a Quickie with Miss B. John tells me it's Friday today, so Friday it is. Woohoo!
Well, hey, they missed the last 3 minutes. Is it Friday?
Why is having so much fun on the previous episode? If you missed the previous episode, please go back and check that out. And thanks for joining us. And always bring lots of people with you because you shouldn't do this alone. Because
This is a weird week.
yeah,
And we got to do now is everybody think real hard, and maybe she'll put her phone down.
I'm sorry, I'm checking up on my kid. Anyways,
Oh,
today.
yes.
No, really, she messaged me. We're gonna talk about you're too old for that.
Okay.
Okay, so today we're gonna have a tea party.
That was me. That's me sighing. I've attended one. Did not like it.
I'd like to know what an adult tea party would look like. Now, here's the thing.
I told you I attended one for my niece and did not enjoy it. She didn't. When I first got there, she's like, "Oh, you didn't dress up." I came by to visit your mom, and you said you want to go to a tea party. I said, "Sure." I wasn't aware I had to go home and dress up. It was not a ton of fun.
And it wasn't a ton of fun?
No, she's a very serious little girl. Very serious little girl. She's like, "You didn't do your napkin right. It goes on your lap." And I'm like, "Well, first of all, I don't have a napkin." It's pretend, but you still have to do it. Okay, here we go. There we go. Well, if the napkin is pretend, how about if I'm wearing a pretend tuxedo? Can I? And apparently you can't do pretend clothes, but you can do pretend napkins. So, yeah. She was very, very serious about it. Was like, I thought this was supposed to be like a fun thing you did, as a kid. You played, tea party. Wow, there's a lot of rules. I'm like, kids got a lot of rules. You had thought an adult was running it. She's, you got to do this. You need to say hello, and you need to say yes, ma'am. I'm like, oh my, hello, yes, ma'am. She's like, okay, thank you. I'm like, oh, and you have to toast, and I'm like, I didn't know what to do. She thought tapping glasses was toasting. So I tapped the glass. She's like, you didn't say cheers. I'm like, oh, I'm thinking, this girl has mixed up her dad partying. Woo, yeah, all right, yeah, with her mother's tea party and has jammed the two together, and I'm confused. And she thinks I'm the weirdo. It's like, sweetie, you got this all wrong.
I think if we had an adult tea party, instead of serving tea, it would be whiskey. In teacups.
Cheerio, how are you? Lovely. Would you care for a spot of alcohol? Do I have to talk like that? Yes, you do.
Yeah, you would have to talk like that. And you'd have to pretend that the whiskey is actually tea.
Yes.
So you have to get a good sip in whiskey.
Yeah. Pull your posh little butt up here and let's pretend, shall we?
And don't forget to put the little, what do they call them? The little cakes or something?
Oh, the little crumpets or whatever they are. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget to put those out on the table as well.
Yeah. So what are we having? Whiskey and saltines, but let's go with it. It's tea and crumpets. But
We'll pretend.
Yeah. You remember being a kid? Yeah, it's all pretend. Yeah. First thing we're going to do is we're going to pretend we all have jobs. And the second thing we're going to do is we're going to all pretend that we're drinking tea and crumpets. Looks a lot like whiskey and saltines, but hey, times are hard.
Work with me, people. Work with me.
That's right. Well,
Can you imagine?
What do you call the little carrot? That's a hot dog.
Can you imagine if you actually were drinking too much and you got pulled over? No, I haven't had anything to drink all day, officer. Well, on the contrary.
Where did you come from? Tea party.
Tea party.
How much tea did you have? About 27 little cups. Gets his phone out, pulls up a picture of a shot glass. Does a little cup look like that? Just exactly like that. 27, you say? Yes. Why don't you go ahead and step out for me?
I'm going to need you to get out of your car, ma'am.
Or madame, whichever you prefer. You want to stay in character, it's fine with me. Tip your bonnet and lift your foot up in the air and go like this with your nose. Oh, look, you seem to have fallen over. Whoop, pop goes the weasel. Time to go to jail. See, I can play along too.
No, really, it was tea, no alcohol.
Yes, indeedy.
Could you please just let me go home, kind sir? I just want to spot a tea.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to take you home, all right. It might look a little different than it did when you left. And I got a new outfit for you, too. You're going to love it. It's orange. We're going to hang out all night. See how you feel in the morning. If you feel good enough, I got this guy I want you to talk to.
We need to take a break. Coffee or tea, anyone? Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to a Quickie with Ms. B. If you missed the first half of the episode, please go back and check that out. And always, thanks for joining us. Today is Friday. It's a fabulous Friday. I hope you're having lots of laughs.
Lord knows I am.
All this week we've been talking about you're too old for that. And now on this part of the show, we're going to talk about none other than trick or treat.
My nightmare. Do you realize all the hell in the planet Earth comes together on that night? I mean, from everything from I'm cheap. Not with my kids, but these aren't my kids. Everything that could be wrong. Huh?
An adult version of trick or treating. You have to, get out there in costume. And I think instead of passing out candy to the adults, it should be beer, wine, or whiskey. Like those little small sample bottles.
Do you know how much money that's going to cost? Do you have any idea how much money that's going to cost?
I knew you were going to go off like a rocket.
You know what I'd be doing? See, I live in Maine, so that has a 10-cent deposit on it. I'd be like, "Why don't you drink that here?"
You would.
I'd be like,
So
no. You can drink that here. Drink that here. Yeah, drink that here. I'm gonna put the bottle right there in the little container. There you go. Have a good one.
I need the money back.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah. Well, you taking it with you? Yeah. Well, give me a dime. You know, that's got a deposit on it, pal. I'm not charging you for the drink. The drink's free. Trick or treat. But you're going to leave the bottle. Or give me a dime. Come on. It would be a miserable night. Right now, trick or treat for me is like, oh, there goes 25 cents.
So if you could go trick or treating as an adult, what would your costume be?
I went trick or treating as an adult because the kids all wanted to go, and I did a couple of costumes. Mm-hmm. One was very upsetting for me. Marty bought one. It was Frankenstein, and he had a blower in his back, and I'm like, what is this all about? She goes, we always say you're hot when you pass. I don't like it. She's like, so all it was is, and like this is really, and it blows up around you. Have you seen these? The costume. I'm like, I just.
Like the Frankenstein and Samurai, and there's like a couple of other ones.
Yeah, she's like, just it's for the kid. Why is it always for the kids? Why is it always for the kids? I don't like this at all. Not one bit. And she's like, well, at least it's not plugged into the house. So you're not burning up any power, Mr. Cheapy. I'm like, this is a pain in the butt. You know what I mean? And of course, I get down the road a little ways, and of course, it's some cheap Chinese one. All of a sudden, there's a short. And all of a sudden, it starts to deflate. Now I got bag hanging on my head. Now I'm like, oh, my God. I'm like, oh, come on. And she's like, I never made it home with it. Took it off, told some kid, you want this? He's like, does it work? I'm like, works great. He's like, yeah, I'll take it. There you go. There, have a good one. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
You gave your dysfunctional Frankenstein to some poor kid that was trick or treating.
He lucked out. It had a Duracell in it. That's worth like, I don't know, $1.50. Had a Duracell D in it. I mean, come on.
It doesn't work. You gave him a dysfunctional Frankenstein.
Well, how's he gonna know? He's so small. Just breathe in and out real fast. There you go. That's inflating. Keep going. Hyperventilate. There you go. It's good. Yeah, that's it. That's the way it works. There you go.
Do you know, speaking along this lines, I actually had an adult go trick-or-treating by themselves. They had no children with, came to my door and said trick-or-treat, and was actually in a costume.
Yeah,
as a bunny rabbit.
That's an idiot. And I'm the guy they go, trick-or-treat. I go, where's the kid? So it's just me. I'd slam the door.
You did?
I would. If an adult came to my door and I went, trick or treat, I go, where's the kid? There's no kid. Slam the door. I would just slam the door. Yeah. I'm cheap. I was going to give the kid, I don't know, a couple of packs of Smarties and maybe a candy bar. You're an adult. Get a job. Idiot. I can't imagine. I would be so angry. I would just
never go trick or treating by yourself as an adult.
No, me.
No, wait. I'm going to make the argument here right now because you are so cheap. But you would actually go purchase a cheap costume, put that costume on.
I did not purchase that. She did.
Okay, but I'm saying if it was just you going trick or treating by yourself, to go trick or treating so that you could get all the candy that you could, fill your bucket or whatever container.
No, I'd assume.
And then you would take it home and give it to your kids and say, "Ta-da!"
See, now that would work if I could hire a kid and go, "All right, here's the way this is going to work." What do you mean? I'm trying to save on the candy for Halloween, so we're going to go early. All right. Now, here's the way it's going to be. It's going to be a 50-50 split. All right. I give you the $3. I get half the candy. All right. Do the trick or treating, split it up, give her the $3, and I have to give enough candy to hand out, so that I only spent $3 on the candy. Then it might work for me.
I can see you doing that. Going trick or treating by yourself to get the candy to come home to turn around and pass out the candy.
But I would. The only thing I would not like is I cannot imagine me walking around going, yeah, trick or treat. She used to tell me that, I've never heard you say that phrase more than you do on Halloween. Because my phrase on Halloween, the phrase I say all night long is, for God's sake. She'd go,
for God's sake, could you please give me some candy?
Well, no, because it's like you sit down. There's no one. You look at the door. There's no one at the door. You sit down. Din dang, for God's sake. The dog was. It's like, you know what? This has happened 96 times in a row, and you're shocked every time someone rings a doorbell. For the love of God, are you serious? Put her in another room. You put her in another room. Then she can hear the doorbell still. So finally, I'm like, take the doorbell out. Unplug the doorbell. And then people are like banging on the door. She's still freaking out. It's like every time you look, there's nobody coming. All right, I'm gonna sit. As soon as you sit down and pick up the cup of coffee, take it down, for God's sake. And all I can see is I'm walking to a door. There's like 5 kids. This is going to cost $1.25. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
buck
but
and a quarter.
if you got a costume and you went trick or treating yourself, it won't cost you anything except your time. Then you take that.
One
candy
year,
out.
I'll tell you a story. One year, it was fantastic because I was at, where was I at? It was either, I think it was, we have a store called BJ's. We have a store called Sam. There's Sam's, the same exact thing. But I was at one of them, and there was a torn pack. You know, the big bags of candy. It's like, it'll say like 172 pieces. You know what I mean? One of those, and they're normally like $15 or $23. There was one there that was half price because it had a tear in it. The bag was torn. I'm like, oh. So I'm looking at it compared to one of the full ones, going, I know what, it looks good to me. I'm gonna get this thing for half price. All right. So I get this thing for half price, and I'm so proud of myself because this thing's got like Butterfingers in it. And it's got all the stuff.
Yeah.
I'm. They're gonna come to the house. They're gonna come to the house and at least not cut my tires or anything. You know, they'll be happy with. Oh no. See, there's a problem with that. You get the good candy, and guess what happens? Then all the kids. Then your wife and all the kids eat it. So I get all the way to the door, and I don't even have enough candy now. I thought you got. I said, "Where's all the candy?" Said, well, I mean, you got more, right? It's 172 pieces. I looked right at it. I'm holding the bag going, there's 172 pieces in this. It's got all these. It's got $100,000 bars in it. She's all, yeah, those are good. It's got M&Ms in it. It's got Butterfingers. It's got all the goods. There's 100. Why are there just Smarties in here? Well, I guess we all ate it. I've literally got like a quarter one of those little pumpkins with Smarties in it.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, I tried to do a good one this year. I saved the money. I was happy with Halloween this year. Everybody was going to be happy with Halloween this year. And this is what you guys did to me. I'm like, great. I opened the door. There's two kids there, Christine. This is what I did. I opened the door, turned the light off, dumped the pumpkin out on the ground, and closed the door. They're like, he gave it all to us. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Who cares? Whatever. They're grabbing it all. And I'm like, turn the light off. That's it. I'm done. I bought 172 pieces of candy, and the family ate it all.
And on that note, we have to be done too.
Turn the light out.